Hi, I'm Tinny from Mini Bowl Design, and it's 6:39. Now, I've just been sitting here this afternoon. I had a little spare time, and just thinking about different things that I could do differently. And one of the things that dawned on me was I continually get emails from people asking me to build the squirrel cage, the original squirrel cage. And also I see a lot of videos where people who have them, were lucky enough to get one for the short period of time that I built them, were really happy with them. They really, people that have a squirrel cage, really, that's usually their favorite stove. So, I've been thinking about when I built it. Now, when I used to build it, I built the rings myself, turned them on the lathe. Fairly labor intensive, kind of tricky, not a lot different than turning out the beer can rings that I sell now. And then I put the three legs, the three supporting rods in and pinned them into place, and then I had to build the stove to put inside of that, plus the disc I had to cut for the bottom. Well, a lot of water's gone over the dam since I did that. The disc now pretty commonplace because that's what I use to make lids, and I could cut discs now with the big lathe and with the dies and stuff. That wouldn't be a problem anymore. It'd be cookies and milk. And that would save a lot of work there compared to the way I used to do it. The rings that they're all mounted in now, I think the very best way for me to handle that would be to send them out and have Mr. Bunker build them for me. It would be a little bit of an investment, but I think it would be worth it. With him turning out the rings, that would really lighten up the amount of work for me, increase my cost, but it would be far overshadowed for the fact that I wouldn't have to make those rings anymore. And I think that if I were going to have the rings made, I'd make them a little thicker and have them bored so the legs set down into a bit of a hole, and then when you flip it over, have a hole through from the other end, a smaller hole, and thread the legs and screw them together, screw the whole squirrel cage together with, I say 3/48 button head screws. I'd say would be a good choice. Now, I'm no fan of threads in aluminum, don't get me wrong, but if it was a 3/8 long 3/48 screw and the leg was going into a hole where it was supported, so the side load was supported, and you put in a button head, which is a very rounded screw, and tighten it up good and tight, be 3 in the bottom, 3 in the top. That's something you'd only do once. That would never come apart again. It would be a one-time thing, and I'm not against threads in aluminum on a one-time thing, where you just screw it together, maybe put some Loctite on it, screw it together, and it never comes apart. The thing that I have the problem with threads on in aluminum is when you were taking them apart and putting them together on a regular basis. Really bad idea. Yeah, bad idea. But one-time thing where you would just screw it together once, that's not a problem at all, because there's no wear on them, because they're only being done once. And with that, if you ever did damage the stove, you would have the option to take the button heads out and replace the damaged parts. I also think that the burner in the center of it should be an M2 droop top. An M2 droop top with a safety base. That way any alcohol that did get spilled would get down in the safety base and save the remote fuel line from being burned. And I think that base would lend itself well to being attached with a 3/48 button head right up through the bottom and right into the bottom of the stove. You'd have to change the bottom of the stove a little bit to allow, you'd have to have a dome inside for the threads to go up into so it didn't leak. And I think the M2 with a droop top and a safety base in a squirrel cage, I think that would be a really, really nice stove. Now, if you'd be interested in something like that, or you think that's a good idea, let me know. And if I get enough people that are interested in an updated squirrel cage, I will look into doing that. Seems like a worthy project. It certainly would be an interesting project, and it'd be a very nice stove. It'd be one of the first stoves that I would build that would be of that type of construction. It'd be something new for me. And new is good because you can very easily get bogged down in the cash cow mentality on these websites and just build the same thing over and over again. And I haven't had anything that I've done for a while since, I guess, the droop top and the safety base, or any really new ideas, so it's probably about time to do something like that. So, I'm Tinny from Mini Bull Design. Get out and hike, take a friend, enjoy the great outdoors, and more important than anything, try to have some fun today, and if you don't get a chance, do it twice tomorrow. And try to have a really great day. Bye-bye.